Nintendo just dropped the new Tears of the Kingdom trailer in anticipation of the game's upcoming release, and there are some exciting new details in the trailer, which gives some awesome reveals and make for some telling theories, which I'll sprinkle some mini speculations throughout, including Ganondorf, Zelda, the return of some classic enemies, and more. So don't forget to like the video, hit that subscribe button if you like Zelda content, and let's not waste any time and get right into it. One thing I've been hoping for in Tears of the Kingdom was new and classic enemies to return. And right in the second shot of the trailer, we get a glimpse of Hyrule Field being patrolled by these dragon-like bird hybrids that we haven't seen before. Though their design does slightly remind me of a boss in the Sky Temple in Twilight Princess. Then later on in the trailer, we see a variety of different monsters in Ganon's army, starting with one of the most common enemies in Breath of the Wild, the Bokoblin, followed by what looks similar to the classic design for a Moblin, but it's actually a bigger version of a Bokoblin. Then we see what looks to me like the Tears of the Kingdom version of a Re-Dead. Awesome. Then we see the updated Lizalfos and Moblins from Breath of the Wild. Here's something we haven't seen before. It looks like a creature made of blocks and covered with what looks kind of like Zonai symbols and green energy, which leads me to believe we will fight this creature, but I'm getting a vibe it's probably a test or a trial, and is aligned with the green entity we see sealing Ganondorf, which I believe is related to the mysterious godlike being we see in the last trailer, who I think are kinda on our side, unless you're rooting for Ganondorf. Then, I guess not. I think the creature in one of the old trailers, right here, will be something similar. Just a little mini theory before we move on. Oh yeah, and whatever that terrifying thing is, a Gleeok with fiery heads? I freaking hope so. This is just a quick observation, but a curious one as well. In all the footage we've seen of Hyrule in past trailers, one thing that's been notable is the absence of shrines and Sheikah towers. But in this shot early in the trailer, we can see shining brightly in the dimly lit rainy night are what I believe could be Sheikah towers, or at least towers that possibly have the same function. It's hard to see, but when you zoom in, they unmistakably resemble the structure of the Sheikah towers in Breath of the Wild. Why they seem to be removed from the map, or if it's something completely different and they serve a different purpose in this game, remains to be seen. Fans of Breath of the Wild will remember one of the unique concepts brought to the Zelda series was the Blood Moon. Every once in a while, when the sun set on Hyrule, the glow of the moonlight would slowly illuminate Hyrule's surface with a scarlet radiance, increasing Calamity Ganon's power and influence, causing strange effects on some of Hyrule's inhabitants, and would resurrect Ganon's monsters that Link had already exterminated. In this trailer, there is an emphasis on the Blood Moon. I've got vibes that this could have played a part in Ganondorf's resurrection and tearing Hyrule Castle from its roots into the sky. It also shows many of Ganon's minions appearing as a blast of malice-like meteors showered down upon Hyrule, striking Ganon's monsters and seemingly giving them power simultaneously. This could be the reason that some enemies look slightly different, as I have a feeling Ganon is using the power of the Blood Moon to give his servants a power boost. Also, maybe the Blood Moon is resurrecting some of Ganon's army that have been long dead, like the Re-Dead and what I'm hoping is a Gleeok. And this could be the canonical reason for these classic Zelda enemies to appear when they were absent from Breath of the Wild. Something I always thought was dope in Breath of the Wild was Link's motorcycle. Well, it seems like it has some competition now. With a few different mechanisms Link seems to be operating to get around, including I don't really know what this is. It looks like a trailer bed mixed with a car. Hey, it even has headlights, seeming to be powered by the mysterious green energy, as well as this flying contraption in this scene, and this scene. Though this one seems to be just a hot air balloon and possibly not powered by the green entities. I guess without a loft wing and tons of sky islands, Link was gonna need more than a paraglider to traverse this new territory. In this trailer, you can feel Ganondorf's presence on the land of Hyrule much more than before. And don't worry, we're gonna get to the King of Evil here soon. But there seems to be a lot of emphasis on the storms and the Blood Moon in this trailer, and Death Mountain is still acting up. And in this shot, when the lightning strikes, you can see what looks like a massive tornado, which was alluded to in this concept art right here. But with Ganondorf's assumed revival, maybe he can harness powers into natural disasters, especially with the power of the Blood Moon, which can send meteors shooting from the sky like a cosmic shotgun. I think our guy Ganon has been watching a little too much Infinity War, if you know what I'm saying. Link doesn't just have a few new whips. It seems like his arm and the green power that's been bestowed upon him can do some pretty cool stuff. Right here it shows Link shooting an arrow, and when he fires, he seems to use this green energy, which possibly makes it more powerful. Also, it seems to change direction and home in on the enemy Link is fighting, which is pretty badass. In a couple of scenes, Link seems to be using his arm, almost like the magnesis ability from Breath of the Wild, though it seems like it's a little more complex and has different handling aspects than the old Sheikah slate, maybe. I also think that it's probably his arm that's powering his new mechanisms, which got me thinking, maybe we'll see the return of the good old magic meter, which will show us how much energy we have, or something like it. Okay, I've never been one of the Zelda channels that went hard on the Zonai train, but there are so many things that resemble Zonai writing and symbols all over, especially everything that has to do with this guy, this hand, and everything that seems connected to them. Even Link's new car looks zonified. So I have a pretty strong feeling that the Zonai are connected to the islands, the deity, and the mysterious green energy Link seems to wield. I mean, look at these dragons. That's so Zonai. Either that or Nintendo was like, hey, that Zonai stuff looks cool. Let's just use its likeness for these other mysterious entities to throw people off. Probably not that reasoning, but it would be a very Nintendo thing to do. Okay, this one might seem kinda silly, but I only had 9 details and 10 looks a lot better in a YouTube thumbnail. So anyway, I was looking through the whole trailer and I saw no sign of the Master Sword until the end, and in the logo, similar to the last trailer, except in this trailer, it's a little transparent, which made me think, obviously Link is using the green energy to repair the sword, but before I thought it was like a permanent upgrade eventually. But now I'm thinking that the Master Sword, when it's not powered by the energy, is still in its broken state. So it's essentially like a lightsaber. Link pulls it out and uses his magic green-powered hand to ignite the rest of the blade, and if the power is limited and runs out, it deactivates, leaving it in its previously broken state. I know this may be reaching a bit, but that's what theorists do, and I think would actually be a pretty cool new aspect in the game. Well, until this trailer dropped, we were unsure of Zelda's fate. The last time we saw her, she was falling into a dark, seemingly bottomless abyss. But this trailer features some dialogue and scenes that would most likely take place after that scene. Guess I'll scrap the "is Zelda dead" theory I was working on. But anyway, it seems maybe she'll be more involved in the game than we think. To what degree is still to be determined, but we see Link reaching to hold her hand with his new wizard arm. We also see someone who definitely resembles Zelda wearing mysterious symbols on her attire. And there's also some dialogue that implies she's talking to Link after Ganondorf has risen.
But Link, I am not sure you'll be able to stop him.
And where I assume she's talking to this guy.
Please, lend him your power.
Which chronologically would make sense to come after the scene where she falls to her falls into the unknown. Unless Nintendo did some Marvel trailer rearranging to trick us, but that's usually not in their playbook. But I think it'll be good to have a little more Zelda in the new Zelda. Ever since the reveal of the first trailer, I've been waiting for more Ganondorf. And we didn't get too much, but that's got to be Ganondorf talking in the beginning of the trailer.
Rise, rise, my servants. Sweep over Hyrule. Eliminate this kingdom and her allies. Leave no survivors!
I was hoping we got an intelligent Ganondorf and he wasn't a zombie, and it looks like Nintendo delivered. His voice sounds rough and menacing, very fitting for the King of Evil. It sounds like he's talking to his army and wanting to pick up where the Calamity left off, eliminating all of Hyrule's inhabitants and her allies, which is an interesting line. This could just be referring to the entity with the green power and its people, Zonai. But this could mean that there are possibly other kingdoms and small settlements that are separate from Hyrule but aligned with them, which would be an amazing addition to Zelda. And also, I had a theory that Ganondorf and his malice was after the Master Sword, not Link. Check it out right here. And this shot, I feel, definitely supports this theory, as we can see the Master Sword here, and then Link jumps after Zelda, but the malice doesn't seem to be following him, or her. Possibly because it's already hit its target, the Master Sword. It also appears that when Mr. Dragmire resurrects, he's definitely under Hyrule and ascends to the surface while resurrecting, and it almost seems like his resurrection and the ascending of Hyrule Castle might happen all at once. Either way, I'm just psyched for the return of Ganondorf. It's been years since he's been in a Zelda game, and I'm super pumped for his glorious return. Until I play the game and his shit up. So that was 10 details in the new trailer for Tears of the Kingdom. Let me know if there's anything I missed or any theories you have about the game. I went a little light on the editing because videos like this are a little time sensitive. Just wanted to get this out as soon as possible. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any new Zelda content, and I'll see you guys soon in the next video.